Oh,
We're recording now. Damn.
Yep.
Craig is loud, honestly.
Craig is loud. He has too much of a deep voice, dude. Every time. I still remember you got fucking scared as shit last time.
Yeah, the test recording. Alright.
You went
Hello,
dying.
Hello, everyone. My name is Noah, and this is my friend Albert.
Hello, my name is Markiplier. No,
Welcome to Replay Value,
Replay
our
Value,
first
right?
podcast. We're just gonna be talking about stuff. We're gonna be talking about movies, games, and all kinds of shit. Many things.
Anything that any recent topics that we feel like voicing our opinions on.
All right, let's just get into it. Let's do that.
Boy.
All right. So first thing I want to talk about is a game that came out recently and has a lot of talk about it going on.
Yeah.
That game is The Last of Us Part 2. Before I decide to talk about the game, I want to say like how I felt when it was coming out. My journey from when I first found when the game was first announced to its release date. That's what I want to talk about right now. So basically, it was 2016, and I was watching a live stream.
Back in 1932.
Damn, I didn't know I was Dracula. Fuck.
You're 100 years old now. Back in 1932.
I need blood.
When I was your age. Back when I was your age, I was your age.
Back when I was your age, I was your age, and then I got my first boner, and I was like, damn.
I was like, damn, I discovered a new light.
Alright. So, 2016, the game was announced. I think it was a PlayStation event. I think it was not PAX. Fuck, I forgot what the event was called. I'm stupid. But yeah, they announced the game. It was a PlayStation event, something. I forgot what it's called because I haven't seen that in a long while. I think that was the last time I watched it.
How long was it before it was announced? Like how long is it between Last of Us 1 till Last of Us 2 was announced?
About 3 years.
3 years? Damn, it took 3 years to announce it?
Yeah, basically.
And then how long did it take before it to release after it got announced?
4 years.
Ooh, wow.
So basically, well, actually, before I talk about how I thought, how The Last of Us 2 and all that, I want to talk about a little bit about The Last of Us 1, my thoughts on it. Now that I'm thinking about it, Last of Us 1, played it back when it first came out. He still has not played it yet. He jumped straight to part 2 like a fucking moron.
But I knew what happened.
He knew what happened a little bit because he watched it on YouTube. You watched it on YouTube like a bitch.
Hey, shut up, okay? I'm broke.
Be a real man and buy the game.
Shut up, I'm broke. Okay, I'm living in the slums, so yeah, I know.
All right.
But yeah, so he basically gave me the recap for it.
I gave you the recap after I finished playing the second game. Basically, first game came out in 2013. Played it. I played it when it around I think 5 weeks after it came out because I just started hearing a lot of good stuff about it. Yeah, I played it back around the time it came out. So
it took me about 10 years to even get to see the gameplay.
I started hearing reviews about it. Everyone was giving it a 10 out of 10, calling it the best game of the year already, game of the year already. And I was like, oh, I want to see. And GTA 5 hadn't even come out yet, and I was like, oh damn, I need to see it. I need to see what the game is all about. And I played it, and I fucking loved it. I loved the story. The gameplay was alright because it's your average Naughty Dog game, but I loved the story. I loved the performance, especially Alien Joel's performance by Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. Amazing performance.
Yeah. Very memorable characters.
And at the time, one of the best video game characters. And I remember the graphics at the time were probably the best period in general.
Yeah, they always come out with really good graphics.
They always save the best for last because remember 2013 was when they started, when it was started announcing the PS4 and all that. So literally, The Last of Us was like, what's funny? You know what's funny enough? Now that I think of it, The Last of Us 1 came out in the year the PS3 was about to die off and PS4 entered the scene.
Yeah.
And The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the few last games for the PS4 until the PS5 hits the scene.
Yeah, and then you said like the PS3, like it came out on the PS3 and then it came out on the PS4 but remastered. So
yeah.
If the PS5 comes out, they're probably gonna remaster it.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, anyway,
and then like the PS6 comes out, that's probably when the next one will.
I had to drink some water.
Clench your throat.
Yeah.
But right there.
My fucking water fell, damn it!
Stop spilling your water. My water broke.
No! Get back in there!
Get back. I see her head popping. I'm crowded.
Alright, back to game review mode. Loved the first game. I immediately thought they didn't have to make a sequel. Then they decided to do a DLC. Played the DLC. Thought it was pretty good. And
cool.
basically,
right?
It was basically explaining a little bit about Ellie's backstory. Yeah. And it was other than that, I really thought the game was great and definitely my game of the year of 2013.
And game
and
of
then
the
Flash,
too, right?
Definitely one of my favorite games of the decades. It's along with Witcher 3 and Zelda Breath of the Wild. So flash forward to 2016. They had PlayStation has this event that I still can't remember the fucking name. They always save the things like the best for last, and they decided to show off a teaser trailer, and it happened to be The Last of Us Part 2, and I was fucking losing it. I was so excited. Like, I didn't really wanted a sequel because like I think it was fine the way it was, the first game. But the fact that they were going to expand on it more, I was just so happy. I wanted to see what they would do with it. And up to basically the years to come, I was just really excited for the game.
I didn't even know that The Last of Us 2 was even in the making or it was even announced. I just was always under the impression that Last of Us 1 was the only game. I thought Last of Us 2 was like how do you say it? Like I only knew about Last of Us 2 until like I don't even know when you told me that about the leaks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, alright. So basically, sorry, I'm basically throwing you under the bus. Fuck you. Basically, I was waiting for the game to come out for a long time. I was very excited for it, and when the game finally is announced that it was coming out in February 2020, I was very happy until they delayed it to May, and then delayed it a month later, and I'm like, fucking hell, they keep delaying this game.
Give it to me! Give
me the fucking game, you fucking assholes. And a couple months later, April or May, do not remember when it happened, the game got leaked. And everyone saw what happened.
It was the script, right?
It was certain events that happens in the story, basically. People saw the leaks, read what happened in the game, and were angry with the fact where the story was going, like where the direction the story was going to be heading, and they hated certain things that happened. People were canceling their pre-orders left and right. Many people took to YouTube and started bashing the game and explaining how their hype has died down. Everyone was losing their shit.
Yeah, they just sent back their pre-orders. It was getting really bad.
And basically, I saw the leaks. I was a little upset, but at the same time, I kept a little positive because I wanted to see how it was executed. I wanted to see how they like pull it off. I want to see how it goes in the game. Yeah. I was still excited for the game. And a week before the game comes out, critics finally released their opinions on the game, and they called it a masterpiece. And I was like, how the fuck do you go from the game receiving a huge backlash because of leaks to this is a 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Like how the fuck does that work?
So it's like, this is definitely going to be a very interesting game. You know, you gotta, when you see this, you're just like,
I was very skeptical. I was like, what the fuck? How do you go from
two
that to
polar
that?
opposites.
Yeah, like, I was like, oh my god. This is gonna be a weird game I'm about to get into.
So that made, honestly, it felt like that should have hyped it up even more, honestly. Like,
people would disagree with you. They were like,
to me, that would make it more hype because I'm like, the people hate it, but the critics love it. So like, oh shit,
I need to see what happened. I need to see. I need to see for myself.
It
but many people were saying like, damn, I wonder how much these critics are getting paid.
Yeah, they thought they were getting paid. Like,
honestly, like I think that's kind of dumb. Like for critics to get paid and all. Like that's just like a way of saying like I don't believe them and all that. Like if you don't believe them, that's fine. But
like
there's no reason to say that they're paid.
Yeah, sometimes critics don't usually maybe sometimes get some of the reviews a little right maybe, but sometimes you gotta form your own opinion instead of just
like those reviews are mostly
they're getting paid, like come on, do something about it. Look at it.
All right, well, anyways, the game finally comes out, and I played it. And I felt a little mixed about it. Like I didn't know how to feel.
Like, it wasn't as much as the leaks, right? Like they changed some things with the leaks, or was it the same?
The leaks weren't a bit specific. They just only explained like the huge parts. You already know what the huge part. We'll hit into that in a little bit. Bear with me. Okay, sorry. Excuse me.
Hurt all into the mic, dude. Come on. You just hurt that in my ear, dude. ASMR.
ASMR shit.
Please get your tongue out of my ear now.
That's some good spaghetti.
Oh Lord. You're not
I'm making this weird. Okay, alright, well, side story. Okay. Just to get out of the way. I felt mixed about the game. I didn't know how to feel. Then I decided to kind of wait on it for a bit before I can give a full verdict. Let it sit. And then when I look back to the story, I thought the story was actually pretty smart and really well written, and for something that was very risky.
Mm-hmm.
So
risky.
Short story. I fucking love the game.
Yeah, you would consider it a 10 out of 10, right? But
yeah, I think it's a 10 out of 10 for me personally.
But in its own way.
In its own way,
it's better than the first one, right?
I still don't think it's better than the first one.
But in its own twisted way, it's like it's like its own masterpiece. Like honestly.
Yeah, in its own way. Yeah, and that's what I really admire about it. And
so when I heard that, I was like, damn, I need to play the game. I was like, I need to form my opinion, see if I'm which side I'm on, So eventually got it for my graduation, and it was
drinking water. Hold on, let me lower my volume for a bit.
Yeah, so got it for my graduation. Waited a couple days because we had a party or so, and then went into it and played it from beginning to end. Took a couple days, but it was really fun and got some good scares out of me, honestly. A lot of scares. Dude, I jumped so bad. Have you ever had those times where you're just sitting there and your body just jolts and you get stiff and then you feel like the chills go down your body? You're just like,
yeah.
You don't freeze, you just get stiff. You're
like, oh shit, yeah, I know.
I hate it. I hate those because I'm like, God damn it! I can't stop. So then.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
yeah,
there could be spoilers, so don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, of course, major. So click off.
All right, continue.
But basically, I felt the same way, basically as he did, or as you did. That you feel mixed. You felt like there should have been something, but then you realize it's kind of like this is different. This is not like the typical game. It's not the typical ending or typical form of events that you would think that a game would lead into. It's its own different in its own way. And some people didn't like the differences, but it was honestly pretty clever. And it gets you thinking, and you got to look into depth into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. So are we gonna? We want to talk? We want to hit them with the spoilers or not?
Yeah. Let's talk about the story, man. So basically, the story is, basically, Ellie goes on a revenge mission because something bad happens. She gets a boo boo. No, I'm joking.
She gets a boo boo on her arm. She's like, you're gonna pay for this boo boo. They pull up to her. She moves her hair. She's like, you see that boo boo right there? You're fucking dead.
Alright, so basically, a tragic event happens. Ellie is pissed off. She is seeking revenge against the people that caused it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Simple premise. Simple premise. Like it seems like a revenge story, even though it's not really a revenge story. It's not really.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit, but we're gonna talk about instead of talking about the whole story from beginning to end, we're gonna talk about like the big moments. We're gonna talk about
the big moments.
Mm-hmm. First one is Joel fucking dies by Abby.
Joel gets bashed in with the fucking golf club. She teed off his head, and I'm so like damn. Like
oh yeah, dude, I think we should have just introduced Abby first. Like Abby is like this strong chick that loves to use steroids.
Dude, she is so fucking huge. Like
how
the fuck do you gain that much muscle?
Like damn. How do you work up?
Can you
fucking SpongeBob wannabe head ass?
Can you pass me your workout regimen or something, dude?
Yeah,
like, I'm a fat
get buff like that.
Like you're skinny, I'm fat. Like can you help us? Or we lost cousins. But like, dude, seriously, dude, I feel bad for Joel, dude.
Yeah, the way they killed him off was fucking brutal. So basically,
it was brutal. Like,
for what happens is basically, they go. Joel and Tommy. Tommy is Joel's brother. Go to Abby's hideout, so like as shelter because of the blizzard that's happening,
and also because they were getting chased down by a bunch of runners,
by the infected. Yes, and basically, they're hanging out and all. Tommy introduces himself and then introduces Joel, and everyone gets a little quiet. It gets a little
too quiet. It was like
a little too quiet. Joel's like and Joel basically says, "You act like you've heard of us or something." And Abby decides to say, because you have the Kool-Aid, give me that motherfucking shit.
You have the Kool-Aid, grab it off of his pockets. No. Grab him. It's like, grab him. Where's the Kool-Aid? Where's the code?
Where's that cocaine? Where's that cocaine?
Where's the code?
So, alright, so basically, seriously though, all seriousness, she basically says, they have heard of you, and basically shoots off, grabs a shotgun and shoots his leg.
Blows a chunk out of it. Was it a chunk? Because you told me to look at it.
Yeah, it was a chunk. Like when I went back,
was it at the knee
or
was it on the thigh?
It was on the thigh basically. Oh. It was around that area. Like it was just on the leg in general. Like it was
a whole chunk. It would have been worse.
It wasn't on the thigh. Fuck, I'm stupid. It's just like on the fucking leg itself. Like you just see like when they're pulling him back to pin him against the wall, you'll see like half of it is like blown away. Like you see a chunk missing. Yeah, I was too
busy freaking the fuck out. Like the whole time when they shot him, I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, I was so shocked. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Like I knew he was gonna die, but like
I knew he was gonna die, but I just didn't know like, damn, like I didn't know like how they were gonna like.
It was honestly pretty sudden. Like I knew it was coming, but like it just hit out of it. Like because they have boom. I didn't know it was gonna be them anyways. It was weird, and then they tourniquet his leg, and they
tourniquet his leg. No, well, before we get to that part, basically they pin him against the wall. Abby says, tells him that they know who he is. He asks, "Who are they?" And she says, "Guess."
She says, "Guess,"
and he's like, "Are you the local drug dealers? Do you have my cocaine?" let me take a whole spot before I go out like a boss.
He's like, "Hey, can you pass me that for a key, bro?" He's like, "Pass me that right now. I ain't got the money for you."
So basically, he goes out like a.
Does he recognize him or does he just like blow it off?
He's like very quiet about it. He just looks around like.
He could have just said who they are, so that he could have saved the player a lot of just who the fuck are these people?
Yeah,
like,
but then
so secret. Like they have to be so secret. They have to be like, plot thickens because I'm not gonna say your name.
Yeah. So basically, Joel looks around, looks at him, and basically says, "Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed and get this over with, like a boss?"
Man, you don't get to rush this. Ooh, and she fucking.
And basically, Abby does not like that response, and then grabs a golf club and just batters him.
And tees off on his head. And I was like.
And it makes a joke calling it a hole-in-one.
Oh no!
That'd be horrible. No, that would be horrible. That actually happened.
That would make like even worse than it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and the worst part is that Ellie is looking for Tommy and Joel, and then goes to the lodge, sees what happens, but
for some reason she's the only one to stumble on them.
Yeah, and basically, they pin her against the floor, and she watches helplessly as they execute Joel.
Yeah, and basically.
And I cried.
You cried. You didn't ugly cry, did you?
I didn't ugly cry because I think the only game that made me ugly cry was Lee's death in The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that game is really good too.
Yeah.
So then basically that turns out Tommy got knocked out. He didn't get killed. He just got knocked out, and then they send him away. They actually let him.
They actually crazy. Ellie and Abby. And why did I say Abby? They spelled Ellie and Tommy. That's what I meant to say.
I would only imagine how shitty that would have been if she would have been like. The people would just be like, nah. They'd just be like, nope. Like they're not gonna play the game.
Yeah.
If Ellie would have died. Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been like, okay, fuck this game.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Joel dies that way, and that's what ignites Ellie seeking revenge.
Seeking revenge. So she's basically searching all over Seattle because she recognized one of the things, right? It was like the WLF or something?
Yeah, the Washington Liberation Front.
Oh, that's what it stands for? I just know about wolves. That's just what they keep calling them. Wolves! It's like, okay, I never knew what the acronym stood for. But yeah. So then
Alright, so
going all through there, she leaves it was Jackson to go search up, and she takes Dina with her.
Yeah, Dina. The cute lesbian couple. Oh, dude, my god, they're my baby.
But dude, okay, first of all, the part where they were smoking the fucking joints, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, they walk into a weed shop.
No, right when she asks, like, while they're smoking on, she asks, how would you rate our kiss last night? I was like, these bitches are gonna make out. I'm waiting for it.
At first, I actually didn't want Dina to like come. I was like, hey, Dina, watch out. Like, don't. And then
that's my baby girl you're messing with right there. You don't touch her.
Don't touch her. I'm about to catch a case if you ain't. No, I actually didn't really like Dina at first, honestly. Like, I thought Dina was like.
I thought she was alright.
Like I thought she
was alright at first, but then I kind of started growing
too. I didn't see her as a love interest. Then she actually grew on me. She actually is a pretty good fit for her, you know. So, yeah. So then they're going around the city and all that, and basically it still baffles me that people just look at the game for the beginning, right? And then
just for that, like those specific parts.
Yeah, for that specific part, and then they just don't play the rest of it. Like, why though? Like
come on, like see what the game has to offer. Like next, like see how
it
goes.
Get to the end and then form the whole thing. You can't base a whole opinion based off that one part. Like
that one streamer who cut his disc in half.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, why you cut? First of all, you're not even just like dissing the game. You're just destroying your whole property. Like, come on, you paid money for that.
Yeah, like, come on, just go refund the game and get your money back. That's all you gotta do, man.
Refunded it but it's still refunding it is like dumb. I feel like you just play the whole thing and then be like,
or just be like, okay, I can just play the whole game and be like, okay, it wasn't that good, but also keep it like as a. Because you never know, that game could eventually be rare, and you never know.
But to us, and probably maybe later, because when we let it grow on us, we felt like it was a really good game because we understand why
the characters did what they did, and now the actions and all that, what the game was trying to tell, like really kind of like more the story they wanted to tell.
Yeah, it's boring to death than what it seems on the surface. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
like on the surface,
it may seem bad on paper, and at first glance it may seem bad, but when you look more deep into it, it's actually a really damn good, well-written story.
Yeah, and people want to paint Joel. Remember, people want to paint Joel as like the
yeah. That's one thing I want to talk about. That's one thing I need to say right now. There are many people saying Joel's a beloved character.
No,
that is fucking false.
That is false.
Beloved character.
He's a really good character, but
Winnie the Pooh and Spider-Man, those are beloved characters. Joel is a flawed, selfish human being. He's very well-written, but he's flawed, and he's very interesting. That's what makes him really good. A very good character. He's
not just all hero. He's got bad things that he's done, and that's basically what everybody has done in the Last of Us 2. You know?
Oh shit! I drank the water too hard.
You just stepped on the water, you almost just fucking drowned.
Oh shit!
But like, and it's like you see the whole thing, and she's literally trying to deal with everything. She's going through with it, and then like it's crazy because she's trying to look for her to get get revenge on her. In the process, she's doing shitty things.
Yeah, and these things are exactly what Joel has done.
Yeah, so it makes you think like, who's really the hero in the first place? Who's really the hero and who's really the villain? You know?
Correct answer. No one's a fucking hero in this universe. No one's a good person.
Exactly. No one's a hero.
This is a cold, dark world with shitty people, and shitty things happens like almost all the time. So anything's bound to happen. No one's gonna get a heroic sacrifice or a death. No one's gonna get the death they want. In this world, everything's just
unfair environment.
It's an unfair environment, and you should have known that since the first fucking game.
But they set it up in the first game to make it seem like, oh, this is great, like he's the great hero and this and that. But then I feel like the first one's the action and the second one's the consequence, as I said before. It's like, you gotta
that's literally what it is, and that's something I really did kind of admire that they decided to go for.
Yeah, he fucked up. Like, he did it for his own personal gain.
In a way, yeah, like in a way that's basically selfish. Like he just the first
cost everybody else's chance of survival and living a normal life because he didn't want to lose his daughter. But it's understandable why he did it.
For us, not his daughter, his just like a girl that he feels like could be like his second daughter because
of his second daughter because of the connection.
Yeah, the connection, the bondness.
So that he's not the almighty character that you see him up to be.
You just see him.
Ellie neither.
Ellie's not a. Well, Ellie may be cute in the first game, but in this one, it shows that she's also a flawed human being too, and that's something I really did like.
Yeah, like she killed a pregnant woman, and she's like, damn, like she feels regret for that, but still she did.
Well, I mean, she still has like a human side to her. Like she didn't know she was pregnant until like.
But they're all human inside still.
Yeah, like Ellie could have just killed Mel and just be like, I don't give a fuck if she's pregnant or not, or just not care and all. But no, once she found out she was pregnant, she literally was on the floor almost about to throw up and started gasping for air. Like, she was having a hard time breathing because like she couldn't believe what she just did. And that's something I really fucking like.
Yeah, because it's not it's like she's finally realizing what Joel had to do in his own way. Like she's now understanding because she didn't really have to do bad things to get what she wanted, you know. So it's like it's making you think like, man, like now she understands and and all that. But she was gonna forgive him, but she didn't get a chance.
Yeah,
well, she kind of did, but I don't know.
We are jumping all over the place with this fucking review. Nice.
That's how if you want like a genuine conversation, that's how we do it. That's how we do it.
That's all you're gonna get, people. That's all you're gonna get.
That's all you're gonna get. But it's like but it's understandable. But then let's spill into the part that you were talking about on your Instagram.
You want to move into that? Well, before we move into that, let's talk about Abby. Let's talk about Abby.
Abby, she was not.
Unpopular opinion. She is not a bad character at all. You may hate the action she did, but she's generally not a bad character.
No, like she's definitely like a hateable character, but she's a good character to like, she did her job, made people kind of hate her. But
and this is something I did mention before. in a weird way, Abby and Joel are kind of like the same person.
Yeah, many people are gonna hate that though.
Yeah, many people are gonna disagree with like, fuck you for comparing Abby to Joel, you fucking skinny ass motherfucker. What's wrong with you?
You piece of shit.
What's wrong with you? Don't compare. Yeah, but honestly, no. In a weird way, they are, because they basically kind of come off as assholes at first, but then when give them like a child character, Lev, and you see their human side start to come out, and that's something I really did like. You got to see a little bit of human inside of her, like.
Yeah, they both were doing like crazy things to protect the people that they love, which is what exactly Joe was doing. And Abby went to go do it, and she's like realizing, damn, like what's going on? And she almost kills Abby for it, but then she's like, she realizes.
Oh, no! You need to say who, because you just went straight into that. What the fuck was that, the boy? Boy, what you trying to do? You went straight into the ending, like out of nowhere. Boy, come on! Like before, come on, set it up, man. Set it up. You gotta do that.
So yeah, she's like, so the setup.
And like basically, okay. If you want to talk about the ending, we can talk about it. But
yeah.
Can I gotta give him a backstory quick, because you just went straight into it. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? We were talking about Abby, then you go straight into the ending.
But no, let's not give too much away. Just letting the.
We're already saying spoilers, dude. We already talked about Joel's death and all that. Might as well fucking talk about the ending.
Yeah, we already claimed the spoilers anyways.